And hopefully this year we maintain some parity amongst Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube as far as how our shows are numbered. Somewhere along the way last season, things got a little cocked.
Well, it's just like alternate endings in like movies and stuff like that. They release like 5 different cuts in different theaters all over the continent, and it's just like everybody's getting a slightly different episode order, and that's like the collector's edition mugs kind of thing. I'm sorry, I just had to throw in a second metaphor there because I thought of it at the last second.
It's not bad, actually.
You know,
It's not bad. Yeah.
you know.
Look at this, our own personal psyop. You know, we're testing out the Mandela effect. Who knows what the actual canonical episode numbering and titling is?
I'll tell you who doesn't know that. I was gonna say I have no fucking idea. I don't know.
But what I can promise you is this is episode 7.1.
7.1. Press X to
Welcome.
podcast.
A new season, a new year has begun.
I feel like season 7 is either where a show really gets going or it falls completely apart. So let's see which one this is going to be.
I was just brainstorming season titles. So far I have one and it's terrible. It's the Gamening. That's all I got. Who's got next?
That's good. That's good. To add to Paul's point, I don't think the show can get any lower. So it's only up from here, boys. Here we fucking go. Season 7, baby.
We're our own biggest fans, our own biggest cheerleaders around here.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
This is going to be the year of that Manscaped sponsorship. We've been talking about it for years. But
mark my words, the Lawnmower 5.0, it's launching on this show.
Dude, it looks nice, too. It looks nice, man. Like, you definitely ain't gonna nick your nutsack with that thing if you pick one up. So
season 7, the Gamening, it's better than season 6, which I believe we were calling the Face season.
We were calling like 3 seasons of Face season. It was a very confusing chronology.
Yeah, we've been doing faces since before last year.
Yeah, we're faced up. It was like I think it was like Face season, and then the like HD or the hotter Face season, and then File Not Found, and now it's the Gamening.
Back to basics. That's what we're doing today. We're talking about the games of 2024. In fact, there's a handy dandy list. This one's from GameRant.com, showing all the releases of 2024.
Oh my god,
that are scheduled.
I love knowing releases.
Yeah, we're gonna go through them. We're gonna talk
about
telling anything that stands out.
You're telling me CogConnected.com did not have a handy dandy list of game 24 to keep an eye out for?
That's precisely what I'm telling you. Unfortunately. So here we are.
Yeah.
using enemy intel to get the job done. It's fine.
Yeah. Espionage.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm not here for any of that crazy nonsense. But allegiances and shit. I'm here for games, all right? And whoever's got the goods gets to give them.
Our allegiance is to games.
Okay. So we've chewed up a fair bit of January already. And there's a few items, well, basically all of them are like out, or at least like reviews have dropped for them.
It's true. Apparently that Prince of Persia game's pretty good.
Yeah. I've heard 3 people. I've seen a handful of people on my timeline be like, "Yo, this is a really good game," but otherwise nobody's talking about it. Which, okay.
Did y'all ever play the remake of the original one that was on 360? I think it was a 360 arcade game.
No.
Maybe a remaster more so. It was fucking sweet.
Really?
It was really, really fun, really fluid, fun combat. It was really fun to speedrun. And ever since playing that, I was always like, damn, I really wish that they would make another like side scroller style Prince of Persia. Go back to their roots. Not Sands of Time, but go back to the roots.
Sure, sure.
This one looks pretty sweet.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Your wish is their command at Ubisoft, only doing what the people want. So definitely not making Avatar games that no one asked for. And stuff like that. But Prince of Persia, Last Crown, sounds like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pal World, also apparently a phenomenon.
Yeah, there's
Pokemon
some
ripoffs.
there's some controversy because it sort of seems like based on the character riggings and the models that it's like literally a Pokemon ripoff, like not conceptually, but like it's an asset flip.
There's some, yeah, there is some stuff that looks awfully familiar.
You like they did some palette swaps. Like somebody went through the list of 100 and found like at least 30 or 40 where it was extremely obvious, and some others where they just like took the model and turned it slightly.
Yeah.
Like gave it a quarter turn, and it was like, all right, it's this now. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Hey man,
you
can't argue with success though. Like people are playing this game because it runs and it's fun to play. Like this, if anything, this should be the wake up call that Game Freak needs to make a decent freaking Pokemon game.
You know what actually surprised me about the game more so than it seeming like a Pokemon clone is that to me it feels way more like a Breath of the Wild clone.
I was gonna say it's not really very Pokemon.
No, like only in its little creatures is it Pokemon.
It's basically the thing it's emulating the most is just that phenomenon of like open world survival sims, like the survival crafting sims. So they're riding the coattails of like the games that came after Minecraft. And that's what it feels like more than like any individual game. Like they take little bits from Pokemon and Breath of the Wild, but really it's an open world sandbox crafty fucking collectathon.
Yeah. Like literally the opening, you wake up on a beach, you've got your little fucking Breath of the Wild tablet, and away you go. And you're scaling rocks. You're fucking man, like it honestly was like striking to me that nobody's talking about how it's more of a Breath of the Wild clone than it is.
I mean, I think it's just because of the assets that were used so literally.
Yeah.
But like gameplay wise, it is very much
right. Which is not like I was saying yesterday when I was doing my stream, like there are many worse games that you could try to emulate.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Yeah. So
by any objective measure, Breath of the Wild, pretty good game.
Yeah. So I haven't put too much time into it, but honestly, from what I've seen so far, it's pretty sweet. I'm actually excited to play more of it.
Seems like the loop is super exhausting. Where you're like constantly running out of resources, and there's all these steps you have to go through to build, I don't know, basically anything. And the interface, kind of a clunky nightmare, but that's just because I was trying to use a controller. Maybe it's really got to be a mouse and keyboard game.
Jack says it's just a cuter version of Ark. And I would agree with you to an extent, but I don't recall in Ark there being they're being essentially slave labor camps where you force them to use machine guns to fucking protect your supplies and whatnot.
Apparently it's a real ordeal getting to the part where guns happen.
Yeah.
It's a real slog.
How much does this thing cost?
$30.
Yeah, $30. But it is Game Pass.
Oh, really?
Now, yeah, it is Game Pass, and it's also PC Game Pass, which I would highly recommend you go to because I've I tested it out on the Series X, and it's like it struggles to maintain 45 frames per second. So, yeah, play it on PC.
I fired up my Xbox for the first time in a while the other day, and it doesn't work as well as I want it to.
No, which was the exact issue with the Xbox One. It did the exact same thing. It's just it felt sluggish. It felt convoluted. people want to talk about the Xbox's dashboard, but to me, it's like the PlayStation is way easier,
Yeah.
way more simplified, way more clean.
And faster, easier to
Yeah.
use.
Oh yeah.
Things are where
Yeah.
you expect them to be. Like I plugged in the Xbox, and for whatever reason, it was locked at 480p resolution. It's like a
Yeah.
tiny postage stamp in the middle of the screen. That's the Xbox dashboard. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's a 4K TV, all this stuff. Go into the video options. There's no option to change it. Can't change it. So tried all the different cables, different HDMI ports, all that shit. Finally found out that somewhere that's not the video options, there's a separate video modes page where you have to check a box to enable 4K, and that turned it on. Like, why would you design this way?
Why? Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
play Pal World on PC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's concerns that it's also made using AI, but apparently it's just all of the developers' other games that use that, and they have not found evidence of AI in this one.
Yeah, they've been showing this game for a while, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it was funny, just as a side note, because we were talking about the day before last stream. I think that it's funny that the developers had to come out and be like, yo, so this is not a scam. We promise you, if you buy this
Yeah.
game, we're not going to shut down within the first 4 days of release. So, yeah. Yeah.
and
I
they're
mean,
true to their word, honestly.
6 million copies sold already. The numbers don't lie. The numbers do not lie.
Well, I'm gonna download
it's-
it. Probably
Yeah.
not right now because we're streaming, but
yeah, it's true. We're doing a thing, but once we wrap that up. So anything else? Any other big standouts in January that deserve a little attention?
I mean, I think we're supposed to care about Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
Everybody. I've seen a bunch of people talking about it online, and it's just like it sounds amazing, but I do feel like it's still one of those things that where if you're not specifically invested and engaged with the Like a Dragon style or format, that it's still probably not going to hit for you.
Yeah. And apparently it's this developer's Rio Go Gataku, or what's the name of their studio? Something like that. Apparently it's their biggest one of these games that they've ever made. So
Really?
Yeah.
they were already long games. Like if you wanted to 100% them, you'd be looking at triple digit hours. And apparently this one is the biggest of all of these. So
Jeez.
be prepared.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the last one. Was it the last one? I don't know. The original Like a Dragon. I just burned out on that one. It was
Yeah.
good. It was fun. It's, funny stuff. Decent story, but it got old.
It got
It's too
old.
long
That's
for
why
its
I
own good.
argue that if you are interested in these kinds of games, I highly recommend over the Yakuza series, or now Like a Dragon as it's known, play the Judgment games.
Yeah.
Judgment
Judgment's great.
and Lost Judgment. Oh, they're so good. I think that they're head and shoulders above the Yakuza series.
Better yet, go all the way back to Forgotten series, Sleeping Dogs.
Ooh. Have I told you that if there was one game that I could ask for a sequel for, it would be Sleeping Dogs?
I don't disagree with you. That would be awesome.
Dude, that shit was so fucking good.
I haven't played it in a long time. I bet it holds up.
Still to this day, the best open world hand-to-hand combat.
So
You'll find.
So I looked ahead, and the list for February is twice as long.
Okay, well let's get going here then.
Okay, so coming up, we've got Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. That's gonna be a game.
Yeah, I got word that I will be the one covering that as well, so I'll let you know.
That's exciting stuff, man.
Have fun.
Dude, it's Rocksteady. It's Rocksteady. I have faith in these developers.
I think it will handle well enough. It's just not the game they should have been making.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like some of those HUD images. I don't know, man. It's just complete overload of systems and currencies and timers and
Yeah, it looks like an MMO. It's gross.
But I have hope. I hope it's good.
I got faith in Rocksteady. Coda says hot garbage. Yeah, we'll see. Also, yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, IGN of all people came back from a preview being like, "Nah, this ain't it."
They did, yeah, they did say we didn't like this game. Yeah,
They
and
don't
that's
do
like
that shit
right.
often.
That's fucking rare that you see them say they don't like something before it comes out.
It's like,
Yeah,
maybe cancel your pre-order on this guy.
yeah. Suicide Squad IP is being milked. Yeah, Coda.
I don't understand the Suicide Squad pick either. Is you have to imagine when they were starting to prototype this game, the first of that Suicide Squad content had already come out, or the groundswell was not exactly
Yeah.
what people expected. Maybe pivot. Pivot
So
to
what
some
do you
other
think?
DC.
Do you think they should have been doing another Batman?
Why do kill the Justice League? Let's just do Justice League.
Yeah. Superman.
Like, who doesn't want to run through a gorgeous open world as the Flash? Fly around as Superman, do Superman in a decent way for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bar's not high, guys. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, Superman 64 is the peak. So
yeah, and the fight. I don't think the fighting games count because that's just like existing IP grafted onto a completely separate mechanical system. So I don't know. Doesn't feel like
Superman 64 is the peak, he says. Like, bite your tongue.
just nonchalant.
Yeah.
yeah. Assuming that there's one level and it's the same level, then yes, Superman 64 is on that level.
What else? What else?
We got the Persona 3 Reload is coming out. Just like I think it's just it's that game done in like the Persona 5 style.
Right.
So there's more 3D fully realized maps and stages and stuff, and all sorts of extras from other versions of the game.
That's
popped into the
150 hours
package.
I don't have.
No.
Honestly.
No. No.
Especially for a game like just a fucking like remaster, I guess remake, technically.
It's reload.
It's
Reload.
probably
Reload?
halfway between a remaster and a remake.
Yeah. No, 150 hours I don't have. That's
Yeah,
a good call.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But Foam Stars. Now there's a Splatoon clone that I also don't want to play.
No.
Yeah.
I never even heard of it. What is this? Splatoon clone.
It's
From
Splatoon
from Square Enix of all people.
Yeah, it's Splatoon but with soap
Okay.
and foam.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the Banishers Ghosts of New Eden that they keep showing trailers for, and none of them. I retain none of it. Like I know that it's a game a ghost is involved in, and they keep telling us about it.
That is the most forgettable name. Banishers Ghosts of New Eden.
Yeah, that's another one. I got no clue. What that's about.
Okay, yeah, so fuck it. Skull and Bones. I'll believe it when I see it. You lying sacks of shit. It's never happening.
Wow. Skull and Bones.
Hey, I don't believe Skull and Bones is coming out. By the way, this is video of Banishers Ghosts of New Eden.
Okay.
Kind of looks good.
Sure, the trailers all look great. They really class it up. It's just that it leaves my brain and body like a like a 24-hour cold or something. I just can't hold on to it.
Jack says Skull and Bones is gonna flop just because it's made by Ubisoft. And you know what? That's a fair prediction. It's a fair prediction. I can't remember the last time Ubisoft has dropped a banger. It's been years and years.
Like,
what would you consider their last banger?
Rainbow Six Siege, maybe? 2015? Maybe.
Yeah, but even that was
not
well received.
No, I mean I think it's a lot better now. I'm super addicted to it right now, actually. But yeah, when it first came out, Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a fucking 7 out of 10 studio. I can't even. I don't hate them or anything. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't have anything super bad to say about their shit, but it's just they're so aggressively fine in
Yeah.
everything they make. I
Yeah.
just I don't care.
Yeah.
But
Jess says
if
Mirage was terrible, and it was.
Mirage was not good.
Dude, it's so bad. People wanted that shit. Jack says people wanted that shit when Black Flag came out, and it took them this long to make it. Right. They are doing a Black Flag remake, I think. Is that what I saw something about that?
They're
But
just leaning as hard as they can on the pirates because they know that they got nothing else.
yeah.
Yeah. From this video, it looks like Black Flag.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, this is Skull and Bones?
This is Skull and Bones now.
So yeah, Skull and Bones, even if it does come out in February, I have no faith that it'll be any better than a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Not a one saw says this game was fire, played the beta. Skull and Bones.
Really?
Interesting. Interesting.
I mean, never say never. Everybody needs
Yeah.
a 7 out of 10 they can go back to as their warm and homey game. One per year, a 7 out of 10,
Wow.
your favorite 7.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You got fucking Starfield for that for the next few years, don't you?
Unfortunately, yes.
It's closed beta for Twitch viewers.
Interesting. How do y'all feel about Helldivers?
I don't really have any thoughts on Helldivers. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing the coverage for that actually as well. Um
I feel like this looks like a 7 to me.
yeah. Yeah. Hang on just a sec. I'm gonna I need to take a second here. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Y'all continue on.
We will. This train rolls regardless of who's here.
I mean,
It
there
rolls-
needs to be at least one of us.
Yeah. What is Mario versus Donkey Kong?
Mario vs. Donkey Kong is, from what I understand, a Switch remake of a Game Boy Advance game because it's sort of puzzly. It's got a puzzle aspect to it. You have to solve the stages. It's sort of it itself is sort of a spiritual successor to the Donkey Kong Game Boy game that came out back in '94. Yeah, I never played the original for some reason, but it looks cool.
It's like it's 2D Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Uh, I will. I'm gonna shoot my shot. See if I can end up covering that. Because hey, man, it looks dope.
Let's just skip right to the end of February here, James. Let's talk about Rebirth.
Yeah. So here's the scoop. It's gonna whip Major League ass, and if I review it, I'm going to be almost incapable of being objective about it. I'm gonna try, and I might even succeed. Because this is the part of the story that has most of my favorite shit about the original in it.
It has
like-
some of the most iconic moments in any video game.
Yeah.
The video we're watching right now is apparently a demo. There was a demo, but Cloud's running around Nibelheim.
Yeah. And everybody looks very happy and alive.
Ooh. Well, I hope that lasts.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't it?
Yeah. They're all just going to continue going on their merry way, having a wonderful time.
This is some interesting gameplay.
I mean, it's
Chadley's
definitely
back. Love that kid. Definitely a
I
kid. Definitely a human being.
I too am endeared to this strange creature and its mannerisms.
I needs battle intel, and who's going to get it? It's the party, obviously.
Yeah, it's a lot more like weird side story stuff and like um just act 2 nonsense, and tonally it's all over the place, and I'm here for it, man. It's going to be fucking sick.
Yeah. High potential that is my game of the year. Just going to say that.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you.
Everybody forgets about February, but
You get some real high class shit coming out in February's sometimes.
this is
Once in
honestly
a while.
probably one of the weaker Februaries.
You know, yeah, unless Skull and Bones really bangs it out and it turns into something incredible, which again, all things are possible. Oh my god, okay, so there's cool shit in March. All right, we're looking. Um, I see a couple bangers. Yeah.
Is it Dragon's Dogma 2?
Yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2 is definitely on that list. I've been hearing great things. It looks sick.
Really? Hearing great
Actually,
things. People have played this thing?
no, it's just sorry, it's a misnomer. I'm misspeaking. Just the impressions that I'm getting from the when people write about it and they're like, here's everything we know, here's what's coming out. I'm like, okay, this looks dope.
And presumably this is falling under the umbrella of new awesome Capcom. Can do no wrong. Every game's a banger.
Yeah.
I hopes.
Princess Peach Showtime could be good. I don't have a super tight grip on what it's like mechanically. I just know there's a lot of outfits and it all takes place on a stage, which is a great conceit, honestly. The idea that we're just like watching a live performance and all of these things are sort of happening in between the curtains, which it's cool.
I haven't seen anything of it, but yeah.
Yeah, all the trailers look dope.
How about Rise of the Ronin?
Oh man, I feel like I should know more about this. I don't know a damn thing. I feel like we've seen some trailers and it looks sick. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Pulling the trailer up now.
Thank goodness, because I feel like there's like some really amazing sword play. Yes, that's what it is. That's the big sticker. Is that the melee combat is like really cool looking.
It's kind of like Team Ninja makes Sekiro, but also some Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, I'm fine with that mix. Although Team Ninja, in my experience, it's mostly just like brutal ass combat, get it in where you fit it in, sort of thing. So probably not on my personal list, but it does look cool.
Yeah, I have tried repeatedly to play and like Neo, and I don't like it. I don't want
Yeah.
it. I don't want to do it. I want it to be awesome, and I'm sure it is for the right person, but it's not me.
Yeah, like I think it's just a matter of yeah, it's very much a matter of personal preference. Some people like that specific style of sort of like intensity and difficulty, but I can't fuck with it.
Yeah. What else?
Okay.
The Legend of Legacy HD remastered.
Boy, that sounds
The the Gamening.
yeah. It looks like some anime bullshit. Maybe the good kind. God, who's to say? Um, is it like a dungeon crawler? Like, what is this? What is this nonsense?
While you figure that out, I'm going to talk about Alone in the Dark.
Okay, great. Let's talk about Alone in the Dark.
That it's coming out. Classic horror franchise.
Yep.
And I don't know, is this like a remake? A remaster? A reload?
Yeah, because they do that thing now where they just call the new game the title of the very first game, just to
Yeah.
like really fuck with you a little bit. And it's rude, to be honest. I wish they wouldn't, because I mean, then I don't know what to expect.
It looks very much like they saw Resident Evil 2 remake and said, "We've got one of those.
Yeah,
We could do that."
yeah, for sure. That's a power that we have. Oh man.
It looks all right.
So, Legend of Legacy HD Remastered. It looks like a more of a traditional turn-based RPG rather than some sort of wild-ass dungeon crawler. It just has this. It just has a title like it's something I should know. You know what I mean? Where it's like you know this game, right? Of course you know this game. It's the Legend of Legacy. It's very real. It doesn't seem that way. It seems like they made it up. There is no original version. This did not exist before September. I don't know.
It's another psyop.
Yeah.
Another
Shit is
Mandela
not.
effect. And like, oh yeah, I remember the Legend of Legacy. No, you
Yeah.
don't. It's never existed before. We just called it HD remastered.
Yeah, not a real thing. I'm calling it now.
That's possible.
Okay.
It's
Sorry,
at
y'all.
least plausible. Hey, Rhett.
Apologies for that.
Welcome back.
You missed the month of March and some of February.
It's all right.
Anything? Well, what were the big games?
We thought Rebirth was going to be pretty good.
Yep.
And Dragon's Dogma 2, probably Rise of the Ronin.
Yep.
Princess Peach Showtime. And that's it.
Oh, I'll say because I'm doing the coverage for Helldivers 2 as well. That was what we were talking about just as I left. Helldivers 2 looks fucking sweet, and I can't wait to play it. The first one was awesome. This one looks like a completely different game, and I'm super, super excited to check it out.
It looks like it will be very... I want to say it'll be fun with friends.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like when you look at it, it looks like it's going to be a 7 or an 8.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not saying it's going to fucking, you know.
Some people are really going to latch onto this thing and play a lot of it.
Yeah. Just like the original. I thought the original was like a very, very good 7 or 8. You know?
Yeah.
A very, very good 7 or 8.
And a unique game, too. Is there's not too many of these things where you can completely turn on your team.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's crossplay. They confirmed crossplay for it, so that just
PC?
adds to yeah.
Nice.
So it adds to what you're saying that I agree. Like I would never play the original without a dedicated group, and same thing with this one. So the fact that it's crossplay, that should make it a bit easier to find a solid team.
Agreed. April is not very filled out at this point, but James, I assume you want to talk about Eiyuden Chronicle.
I was just going to mention that it could end up being a real banger because it's got a whole bunch of people from that Suikoden team, and that was it's a real blast from the past type situation because we haven't had one of those games in so friggin' long, and I'll be interested to see what kind of audience it finds with this new release.
Just looking at the video here.
Yeah. It's got that like 2D vibe to it. It's got like a whole shitload of characters, 100 obviously. It's got a real dream team of sorts working on it. Just a lot of people from the original dev team for the Suikoden series.
Yeah, they sure have seen Octopath Traveler though.
Mm. Mhm.
It
Oh,
looks
that's
very much like that.
Well, just like I was saying about Pal World emulating Breath of the Wild, there are worse games that you could try to clone to
I was
copy.
gonna say, I feel like that is gonna become like an aesthetic style. Like it's like Doom or God of War, where they inspired a whole fucking genre of sorts. I feel like Octopath has like
Yeah.
laid the foundation, or at least like brought to the forefront a sort of style that we're going to be seeing quite a lot of in the next
Yeah.
few years.
For me personally, I can't get enough of that visual art style. So bring it on.
Yeah,
I really want to pick up Octopath 2 and play that.
Mhm.
yeah.
The more
I
I
highly
hear
recommend it.
people talking about it or see it on people's personal lists, this honestly, it's not on very many site lists or group lists, but it's on a lot of personal lists, and some smart people think it's pretty good.
James, you would probably know best. Do you have to have played the first one to get the
No,
second? No. Okay.
no, not at all.
Cool.
Because it's like the two aren't really connected in any meaningful way. Um, they're both pretty self-contained, and the story for the second one is just better.
Gotcha.
It's just better. Is
Yeah,
it
and
is it
mechanically
as
it's better too.
disjointed as the first one was, or is it a little more?
Um, when it comes to that, they make small steps of progress, nothing crazy. The story at the end feels a lot more interconnected, and
Hmm, that's good. That's an improvement.
yeah,
So that was
yeah,
definitely where the first game kind of fell down a bit. Was when they came together.
yeah. I think I don't know that the like individual stories are any more connected than the first game, but the end of it, they're definitely in much better shape.
Um. All right. Anything else in April that's standing out, or should just go
I
to May?
think that's it for April. May is just Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. At least on this list, and
How do you
that's
guys
looking.
feel about this game after watching the Xbox Direct? If you watched it,
Uh,
I thought it looked gorgeous, but do I really care about it? No.
I found it interesting that they went way out of their way to say repeatedly and many times the scope of this game is small. It's a small
Yeah.
game. It's a short game.
Mm-hmm. Which is
Because
probably why it looks as good as it does, like visually.
yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of people thought this was going to be a bigger title, moving a little
Yeah.
more in the God of War direction of, this is their answer to that franchise. But
Yeah.
I don't know. The first one was such a personal story.
yeah,
I feel like it's hard to get away from that too much without losing a lot of that magic that made the first one so good.
yeah, for sure. They still really shied away from showing too much of it though. There's like little clips in that whole presentation. There's a lot of developer face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, but the big standout from that first Hellblade game for me was the audio, especially if you played it with headphones. The binaural stuff is still crazy in that game. So it sounds like they're doing a lot more of that. A lot more of the sound is binaural and kind of all up in your brain.
Yeah.
So it
yeah,
could be pretty cool.
yeah. June, we've got another Destiny expansion.
Ooh, is
The
the
final shape.
Destiny expansion, my friend. It all
Yeah.
comes down to this.
It all comes down to this, he says.
I've actually been playing a bit of the free version because I'm doing some hardware testing. Shooting feels real fucking good.
Dude,
It's
well,
the best on the market.
Every time we talk about this game, Paul and I say it's, as far as like a shooter goes, shooter mechanics, popping heads, nothing feels better. As far as a first-person shooter goes, nothing feels better than Destiny 2. But god damn, do they try to fucking milk it for all it's worth. Damn, do they try to milk its player base.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking, it's a shadow of what it was when it even came out. Forget how it compares to Destiny 1. Like, it looks nothing like Destiny 2 when it originally launched. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they're coming up on that. I guess 10 years since Destiny 1, because that was 2013, I think.
Yeah.
That was their vision. This is a 10-year thing, I guess. It'll be interesting to see when this comes out. How it's received. I hope it's awesome and a fitting end to this whole saga that people have been waiting for forever. But I don't know. Is the player base just going to churn? Could be.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because Marathon's definitely not ready. What are you smirking about there, Rhett? You have a real sly smile on the old grins there.
Just laughing at the chat. I'm just laughing at the chat right now. Just people having a good time in the chat.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Final shape. It's got to be more significant than any of the stuff they've put out recently. Lightfall, huge disappointment.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if they've rebalanced the scales in the way they needed to, because it sounds like Bungie was not in the shape that maybe they portrayed themselves to be when they were bought by Sony.
Right.
Well, hey, we need to cook the books a little bit just to make sure that they get that get that Sony money.
Oh, they got it.
Okay, it gets. That's kind of it.
Pretty
for
sparse. Yeah.
for stuff that has a calendar release, but there's a gigantic fucking list of things that don't.
Well, I
have-
mean, Wukong in August. Wukong, I think there are people that'll tell you that that's an early Game of the Year contender. That's going to be in the discussion for Game of the Year.
Okay, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. I mean,
we'll see.
We'll see.
It looks like a lot of other games, and because the impressive visuals that first, really got some attention when that first trailer came out, but there's lots of stuff that looks like that now.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, and I've said it before on the show that what game nowadays doesn't look good? Yes, I'm sure you could point to a few examples, but for the most part, if a game's coming out in 2024, it's going to look good. One way or another.
Yep. It's pretty hard to mess up at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Like the hardware, we've gotten to the point where the hardware
even if you don't know what you're doing, you throw resources at it, it runs good.
Exactly. I was gonna say I don't think that it requires the know-how that maybe it did 20 years ago to create a game that was like, oh my god, I've never seen anything look like this before, Now it seems like every other month something comes out and I'm like, damn, this looks fucking good. Holy shit. Like
yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's partly what I think is go ahead.
A good example of that, we were chirping it at the start of the show, is that Avatar game. Super mediocre, yes, but it's a fucking gorgeous looking game. It really
stunning.
is.
Yeah. But I think the proliferation of anybody can make a game, anybody can do this and come out with something that's pretty good at the end of the cycle.
Yeah.
Is part of what leads to big layoffs.
Yeah.
Because if, a team of 5 or 10 people can put out something that's really exceptional looking, what are you doing making a game with 500 people?
Yeah.
You can get away with doing it with way less resources.
Oh, yeah.
you're probably going to do that. But the hope would be that you would spin some of those people off into smaller projects, smaller things, and then just have more better, smaller experiences and not a giant lineup at the food bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, it. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work out for the CEOs the way they want it to. I think they're gonna keep making these moves, and then their jobs are gonna fucking vanish because the company's gonna go down, and they're like, well, now I gotta hop over to some other industry and fucking suck the guts out of that to sustain myself
Yeah.
because they can't keep this shit up. Eventually, all these people are gonna spin off into smaller teams or like leave the industry, and then the whole industry itself is gonna be like demonstrably shittier, and then you have to contend with that fucking up your stock options.
Yeah.
On that note, September, Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. Apparently that's finally coming out.
That's another one that has been happening for so long that I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, it's like Xbox bought this studio forever ago. Or did they buy this studio? I forget. They bought everything, so who knows?
Yeah, like I don't know shit about Stalker. I've heard the name in the deep lore, but I don't know shit about it.
It's like the game and the franchise that has spawned survival modes in other games.
Okay.
You know, it's like a brutal world, very difficult, lack of resources, somewhat surreal, some kind
Cool.
of supernatural something going on.
Sounds like a terrible time. I'm sure a lot of people will love it.
I kind of want to try it. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, okay, great. Have at her.
You bet I will, James. You bet I will.
Cannot wait for Stalker 2.
Yeah, okay.
That's what Jax in the chat says. Can't wait for it. I don't even know what this is, to be honest.
Yeah, it just sounds mechanically like one of those things I would not enjoy, so I'm not gonna worry about it.
I haven't seen this this gameplay demo before. It looks sharp.
Oh sure. They've had time to polish it up.
Mm-hmm.
Looks slick as fuck.
It's basically paranormal Chernobyl. Okay. I like that. That's a pretty solid elevator pitch.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
I think it has a lot in common with the Metro series as well.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Vibes wise, anyway.
Yeah.
Gameplay's a little more brutal on the Stalker side of things.
Nice.
The other thing in September thus far is 40K Space Marine 2. Another 40K game.
Yeah. The people who love them, and everybody else has no idea what they're on about.
No idea. Yeah, exactly. I had never played a Warhammer game, and I probably won't come September. Well,
never.
Actually, let me amend that. I definitely won't come September.
Yeah. Have you guys seen much of Avowed? Avowed looks like it could be cool potentially.
I got really mixed feelings about Avowed.
Combat, I don't know. Like I don't know enough about. Like I know Obsidian does good work, so I mean they've got that going in for them.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will be well written and an interesting story with lots of branching paths and interesting stuff going on. The gameplay they showed didn't look great.
No.
It looked pretty sluggish and clunky.
So now we're into these games though that don't have a specific month, right? They're just slated for
the
sort
fall
of 2024 release.
This one's the fall.
Yeah.
Avowed, yeah. Okay.
We've got oof.
I mean, looking at the list right now on Game Rant, the first thing that immediately jumps out at me is Hades 2.
Yeah, Hades 2.
Give me that game. Shoot it directly into my veins. I cannot fucking wait for that.
Hyperlight Breaker is probably also going to be a banger.
Yeah.
I'm personally pretty excited for Fantasy Life, The Girl Who Steals Time, because I played the previous game when it came out on DS back in the day, and I was obsessed with it. I probably put in easily 100 hours into this thing. It's just a dumb little life sim where you have a whole bunch of different classes and jobs and shit you can unlock, and you swap between them to do quests associated with each one. It's very open-ended and relaxed and cute, and I fucking loved it. I put easily 100 hours or more into it. So, feeling good about the sequel.
There are 2 games
Okay.
that I think are uh I don't know when this article was written, but there are 2 games here that are glaring omissions. To me, the 2 most important games of the entire year. And I know that people, Final Fantasy fans, will probably meh at me. But to me, the most important 2 games of the year are Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta and the Silent Hill 2 remake. And neither of those are on this list right now for some reason.
They might not be coming out in 2024. That's what this mother.
Well, because Sony released a fucking Games of 2024 preview. Maybe you saw it, and both Silent Hill and Metal Gear were in that fucking preview.
Okay, then the list is incomplete. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. So I don't know who wrote this, but you need to check your sources and possibly lose your job. What X Defiant is going to be a banger. What's X Defiant? You okay there, James?
Yeah, I'm great.
Yeah.
I don't know if I go all the way to lose a job.
Nah,
That's
I'd say this.
maybe a little bit of
mistake.
hyperbole there.
Nah, I should probably, yeah.
Well,
You okay there?
maybe.
You okay there?
Maybe just like redo the article. Maybe that's the punishment, you know? Maybe you just like amend it and put it out again.
All right. Well, okay. We'll have to meet somewhere halfway.
What
on this one.
What are your guys' thoughts on Indiana Jones and the Great Circle?
Oh boy.
Oh,
Looks fun.
Starring Troy Baker.
Yeah.
I swear to God, the voice industry has 3 voice actors that they hire.
Well, if you want that like charming, suave,
Yeah.
middle-aged male voice, there's 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
And Troy might play 2 of the 3.
Yeah, no, that's not a slight on Troy. He's fucking
No.
fantastic. Don't get
No,
me
he's
wrong.
great. He's so good.
And honestly, the fact that he is playing Indiana does make me want to play it more than if he wasn't.
Yeah, he's one
He-
of the 3 voices because he's the best in the biz.
I can't
Yeah.
think of a single performance where you're like, I don't know about this one, Troy. Every time it's like he steals the show.
There is
Yeah.
something about the faces in this game that like waxy, something strange about them.
I think it seems to be very important when you come under the Bethesda umbrella that you stop being able to do faces. They're like, listen, we do fucked up ghouls only in
Yeah.
this company, all right? If you have any face advancement technology, throw it out the fucking window. We want none of that here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave Todd an executive producer credit, so they had to fuck the faces up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll play it. I'll play it.
Yeah.
I'll probably throw my name in the hat to try to cover it.
Yeah, the business with a whip looks great. Just being able to whip people.
Honestly, though,
Yank
that's
them
what
closer, fuck them up.
that's one of those that I feel like I won't play it unless I do cover it. I don't know if I'm convinced that I want to spend money on it right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
John Carpenter's apparently making a video game, so I assume it will either be great or complete dog shit. I don't know. I genuinely don't.
So Yeah, the John Carpenter game. Yeah, no, I mean, I love John Carpenter, so I'm curious about that. I didn't even know that was a thing. We got a comment. X Defiant is a
Okay.
first-person shooter with all of the different Ubisoft games as factions. Far Cry, Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell, and Watch Dogs are some of the factions. Interesting. I haven't heard of this, but that's another pretty fun elevator pitch that I would, that
Yeah.
piques my interest.
The caption on this video that I've just pulled up says, "What if Ubisoft made Call of Duty?"
What if
That's
Ubisoft made Call of
exactly
Duty?
what this looks like.
Well, honestly, I think Call of Duty's gotten to the point right now where it might as well be made by Ubisoft.
Ooh.
Call of Duty, like, I think it's a solid 7 or 8 out of 10 franchise,
Mhm.
you know? Whereas it's long, long gone are the days of COD being that juggernaut of the industry. You know?
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
not that far removed. It's only a couple years ago that Modern Warfare remake came out, and that game
That was
was
pretty sweet.
stellar.
When the first one that had Warzone in it,
Yeah,
yeah, that was pretty sweet. That was pretty sweet.
but since then,
Yeah. Yeah. Good
I
point.
don't know.
Good point. But so not a one sauce. He also says so X Defiant, it's got all those factions, but it also is an Overwatch style push game. And that kind of turns me off. I got to be honest.
Uh,
It's COD with ultimates, he says.
hmm.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't know.
Hmm. I don't know that we need another Overwatch.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't need
There's
Overwatch 2, that's for
man,
damn sure.
absolutely. Absolutely. Overwatch, Valorant. Um What's the other arena shooter right now that's popular? Finals isn't. I mean, it's close enough. Like there's enough of these games.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if they get the shooting right and it feels good,
Yeah.
they'd probably convince some people to switch over from COD.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Not many though.
Yeah.
I'm also looking forward to Visions of Mana.
Yeah, that looked
Just
cool.
just because I love a good mana game. Most of the time when you play a mana game, it's mostly fine, but with one or two weird flaws that you don't understand why they included. Um, and I'm looking forward to seeing what is that for Visions of Mana.
Another big one on this list that I cannot wait for.
Mm.
I think fans of the first game have been waiting a decade plus for its sequel. The Wolf Among Us 2.
Mm.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I mean maybe even better than, but I don't know if you wanted to argue against this, but maybe even better than The Walking Dead, the Telltale Walking Dead games. But The Wolf Among Us, I thought was like peak Telltale. It's so good. Bigsby Wolf, investigating crimes that take place amongst different fairy tales. I mean, it's a fucking recipe for success, and it was executed to perfection in the first game, and we have been waiting for the sequel for 10 plus years now, and I cannot fucking wait to play the second one.
Is it being made by the original devs or somebody else?
That I do not know.
I'm assuming it's a fraction of the former team
Yeah.
because a lot of those
Telltale Games
guys.
Wolf Among Us 2, episodic graphic adventure game. Similar style of gameplay. It'll take place 6 months after the events of the original. It is being made, yeah, it's made by Telltale. Developed by Telltale, published by Telltale. I mean, as far as the actual team being the same, I don't know, but I don't think it's going to disappoint. Regardless of what the team looks like, I don't think it's going to disappoint.
One that I've got real high hopes for is Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah, that one looks dope.
Yeah.
I think it has potential because it looks like they've used kind of the basis of The Division.
Yeah.
Which to me is kind of the last Ubisoft game that I really enjoyed playing.
Yeah. So what are we thinking? Maybe a solid 8.1 for this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'll take it.
I haven't had an 8.1 Ubisoft game in ages. I'm down.
Yeah. 100%.
At least you can get in your ship and fly off the planet,
Yeah.
unlike
Yeah,
some
that's dope.
space games.
Wow. Shots fired.
I can't believe they
Yeah.
made that decision. What a ridiculous call. Anyway,
Yeah. Well, maybe in 2024 they'll release the fucking takeoff update. Starfield.
I don't think it's possible.
No.
You kidding me? Anyway.
Yeah.
What else is on this list?
I mean, okay, well, we didn't really talk about Metal Gear Solid Delta, so
That's
that game
true.
looks absolutely incredible. And
Have we seen anything of it, or are we just assuming that
they
it
released gameplay? Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, they did a second trailer for it that showed gameplay, and it very much looks like it's going to retain the spirit of the original.
Okay.
The fact that they announced that they're going to reuse the same dialogue is great. They're not gonna disappoint people like they or like who was it that made Twin Snakes? Because Twin Snakes looks great, but it was disappointing because they fucking redid the dialogue on it and it just didn't hit the same.
Right. Yeah, you can't fuck with that. That's a big part of the
No,
of the appeal.
Yeah, this does look good. Looks real good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, classic.
Right, but it still looks like MGS3 still, you know?
Mhm. Using Unreal Engine 5. Okay.
Yeah. I can't fucking wait to play that game.
And how good is the camo gonna look?
Oh, dude, incredible. Incredible. How good is Eva gonna look in Unreal 5?
Yeah, incredible.
Incredible. Right? It's gonna be a whole new generation of simps for Eva. Yeah.
So they don't have a date for this.
Don't have a
Do
date
they?
for it, but again, PlayStation released a Games of 2024 like trailer in early January. And they showcased a bunch of different stuff, and Metal Gear was part of that trailer, and so was Silent Hill. And I'm going to lose my mind if these
Okay.
games don't come out this year.
Sure. I look
Like-
forward to them either coming out this year or you losing your mind.
There's no reason for Silent Hill 2 to not come out this year. I would honestly I would understand if Metal Gear got pushed because it was just announced, to be honest. It was only 3-4 months ago it got announced. I would understand if Delta didn't make it this year, but Silent Hill 2, we've been waiting for this remake now for a long, long time. And it should come out. It should come out soon. Soonish. I'm still holding out hope for like a springtime release.
A smaller game that stands out to me on here because the first two games were awesome. Little Nightmares 3.
Yep.
Likely to be another in the sequence, I guess.
Yeah. The first two are great. Very well made. Definitely a game that I think like nails what it's trying to do
Mhm.
better than a lot of those kinds of games. And super, super popular on Twitch.
Really?
Yeah, those games. Yeah, people love to play them. People love to watch them. So
Well,
I think
it's so
3.
stylized.
Yeah, so 3 is going to do very well, I'm sure.
Oh, it looks good.
Mhm.
Looks real good.
Yeah, better than a lot of like horror games. Little Nightmares is able to build tension in ways that you don't typically see.
That's cool.
and not necessarily they're able to do so with what you can see versus what you can't see. Like in Resident Evil 4, the remake, for example, you'll be walking through a darkened corridor or something, something like that, and you'll be expecting something to come at you from off screen. Whereas with Little Nightmares, it's all about how are you going to maneuver around this monstrous entity that's trying to hunt you down. And you can see what it's doing the entire time you're trying to do it. But you know that one little mistake will get you captured. It's interesting. They do a
Nice.
good job with these games.
Speaking of Resident Evil, have you tried the VR mode?
With 4, not yet. No.
I've heard. Heard it's pretty good.
Oh, dude, I bet. But listen, they nailed Resident Evil 7 on the PSVR 1.
Yeah.
They absolutely nailed it. It was the best experience on that platform, hands down. I bet RE4 is fucking sick. On the PSVR 2? Oh, I bet it's fucking sick.
You know what I wouldn't mind? Dragon's Dogma 2 VR.
Ooh.
You
Yeah.
could do it.
Yeah, that'd be all right. What about Star Wars Outlaws?
In VR?
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Right?
I do believe that this year, Sony's got to do something with that thing. It's got okay third-party support, but like, where's the sales leader for PSVR 2?
Dude, absolutely. Like at this point, Gran Turismo 7 is still the fucking the peak of the system.
It's not good.
No.
It's got to be more peaks, man.
like-
Can't
like
just be valleys.
Yeah, I love my GT7, but come on. I think it was like $600. Jesus Christ.
Yep, 600 Monopoly dollars up here in Canada.
Yeah.
Can't pay my fucking mortgage with that Monopoly money.
It's accepted many places. Which is
yeah.
it's good. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing else is really jumping out at me here, fellers.
So going back up the list, did y'all talk about, because no, I was here for January. We didn't talk about Tekken 8, did we?
No,
did
we
not.
didn't actually.
Dude, Tekken 8 is getting fucking fire reviews. People are saying it's the best Tekken ever. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of excited for it up until I started seeing some of these reviews. Now I really want to play it. Yeah, if you're a fighting game fan, apparently it's more accessible than ever. Kind of going the route that I think Street Fighter 6, they made their game more accessible than ever to newcomers. I think Tekken 8's doing the same thing, which is great because fighting games can be a fucking seemingly insurmountable mountain to climb if you're new to them.
Oh,
Yeah,
all it takes is one trip online and you're
Oh, that's it.
You're never playing
You're
again.
done. You're never playing again. Exactly. But
just snap your controller in half, walk away. It's over.
Absolutely. Street Fighter made a lot of good steps forward in that they like adjusted the control schemes. You know, they gave you options for different control schemes that made things easier. But they were smart about it where like, okay, you could pull off, basic Hadokens and things like that with the tap of a button. But if you chose to go with like the traditional control scheme, you could do a lot more,
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not like they punished veteran players by making newcomers have the ability to access everything that they spent decades learning. They still say, if you're a veteran of the series and if you put the time in, you're going to be better than a newcomer. It's just that now newcomers can come in and not have to fucking button mash and feel like they're, never gonna win a fight.
Yeah,
There
I get
are.
that.
Sorry, go ahead, James.
No, I was just going to say I understand that's a cool direction for them to go in.
Yeah.
I gotta say, there are few things more satisfying than playing a fighting game with someone who plays fighting games and beating them by button mashing.
Right. Dude, especially when like
It's
if you're
infuriating.
if you're playing them in the same room and you
Oh.
can like feel the tension in the air rising,
Yeah.
dude, that's a good feeling. You can fucking feel them fuming.
Yeah. You're
That's
just
satisfying.
just
That's
mashing
yeah, that's
as many
satisfying.
buttons as many times as possible.
Yeah, you beat them a few times, then they're like, okay, now, yeah, and then they like pick their main and they want to actually fuck, like that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're like, no mashing. Like, who's mashing? This
yeah,
is success, baby.
it's success, baby. Yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Second looks pretty good.
It really does. It really, really does.
Oh, these floors are exceptionally shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did we miss anything else in February? Because we kind of blasted past that. So we're like, oh my God. February, March.
I feel like we talked about everything more or less.
I know, well, in March, I don't know if y'all talked about it, but Alone in the Dark is highly anticipated by horror game fans.
Yep. Yeah. I said it looks like they saw Resident Evil 2 remake a few years ago and went,
yeah,
we got one of those.
Yeah.
Let's do that. And why
super
not?
stoked on it.
Why not?
Because that was a franchise that for a long time sort of fell off, They made mediocre game after mediocre game, and I mean, Alone in the Dark created survival horror.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of disheartening to see them fall off as far as they did. And this game looks like it's, I don't know, maybe it's gonna get it back on track. It seems to be a theme for this episode, but like there are way worse games you could try to copy than Resident Evil 2. So if it plays and looks like that, fucking great. Awesome.
Yeah. Exactly. Don't try to innovate.
Yeah. 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 Innovation is passe.
Yeah. That's what they're saying in the industry.
Yeah. There's that new South Park game apparently coming out in March.
Yeah, Snow Day. What's that all about?
I mean,
I
it
think
looks
it's another RPG, right?
well, it looks a lot different than the previous two games. It's
Yeah.
3D.
Oh, he's still got the stick of truth, so
Yeah. It's still made by Matt and Trey, or well, they still have like a huge hand in the development of the game, so that's great. The one thing with it though is that I think it's priced at like I want to say it was like $29.99. So expect a 5 to 10 hour experience. That's the one thing. Whereas with Stick of Truth and Fractured But Whole, those were significant games that you could expect 30 to 40 hours out of. But with this one, I think that it's going to be
it's a 4-player co-op battle your way through the snow-filled town of South Park.
Right? And I think that you and 3 others are going to be ripping through the game in no time.
It's going to be like that SpongeBob SquarePants game.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Coda says, didn't the Street Fighter make a pay to win with gems? I don't know about that. I don't know if any of us have experience with it enough to tell you.
No.
But I'll take your word for it.
They definitely had paid a costume up. They had
Oh,
some gnarly dollar
dude,
values.
I
Holy.
wonder I wonder how much money they made off their costume and map DLC with Street Fighter 5. It was crazy how much you could buy in that game. Like, I'd never seen a list of DLC longer than Street Fighter 5, and I can only imagine that 6 is already significant, and it's going to be insane by the time they're done with it.
How do you
Yeah,
think
it
they
gets pretty
paid for all those
fucking
remakes, man?
offensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
They paid for all those remakes somehow, and it was Street
Yeah.
Fighter DLC.
Yeah.
So if they caught a few whales and now we get RE4 remake and all the other great stuff they've made lately.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. If that's what it takes.
I'm
Gouging all of you fighting game fans.
I'm willing to sacrifice someone else's livelihood
Yeah.
for my gaming satisfaction.
100%. Fuck y'all.
So one last thing I want to do in this episode, I think we got to establish the Press X podcast scale for when we're talking about games. Because near the end of the year, we were talking about, it's kind of a 7. It's worse than a 7. I feel like we need some consistency there so people can come back and go, oh, wow.
I think clearly our scale differs from that of COG Connected.
Absolutely.
You know.
Well, I suffer from the same problem as IGN, which is I can see a 3.5 or a 4 coming from about a mile away, so I just don't bother with them.
Yeah.
So people were like, well, do you play many things worse than a 7? It's like, not if I can help it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's way too much to play these days.
True.
To be wasting time with something that's less than stellar.
True. I'm just thinking about our viewers, our listeners. If we can establish the 3-point Press X to podcast scale with less than 7, 7, and better than 7.
Yeah. Less than 7, 7, and better than 7. Okay.
Yeah. So not good.
Not good.
And
good.
Better than good.
Better than good, yeah. Well, I mean, I think you gotta look at our game of the year list from last year to look at the better than 7s. You know, your Baldur's Gates, your Alan Wakes, your Final Fantasy 16s. You know,
definitely.
If something's coming at you, if a studio's releasing something like that,
yeah, it's basically below below 7, 7, above 7, hundo.
Yeah.
Okay. 4-point scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes straight from above 7 to 1 hundo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just call it hundo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lock it in,
at this
man.
point.
Lock it in. It's good stuff.
So like we're thinking Rebirth probably gonna be a hundo.
I mean, I'm trying not to get in my own head beforehand, but
just admit it. It's gonna be
let's get away
hundo.
from remember, we're away from the COG connected scale in this space. A hundo does not have to be something that would get a 100 score on cogconnected.com.
Exactly.
A hundo is like banger. Yes.
Banger, gotta play it. So I think we can safely say Rebirth's gonna be a fucking hundo.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah,
I'm confident in that.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely in the hundo space.
Yeah.
Playing with the hundo tools, you know.
Yeah. All right. Now as with something like Black Myth Wukong, I could see that sitting maybe right in the like better than 7 category.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking 7 better than 7, somewhere there.
Right? But not necessarily something that I would say you have to go out and play. Although I swear there are people that are convinced that game is gonna fucking just destroy everything this year.
Yeah, maybe they're right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's played that at this point.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
Rhett, you'll be
I don't
pleased
know.
to hear I restarted Cyberpunk.
Oh, did you?
I did. Installed
How
Phantom
many-
Liberty.
Yeah.
We're ready to go.
Yeah. Too bad with Phantom Liberty. Did you start? So you restarted it. So you started a entirely new save file.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you need to go through quite a bit of the story before you reach Phantom Liberty. That's one thing.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Because it is so much better.
Dude, it's good, right?
Than
It's
when it
fucking
launched.
good.
I'm like, where was this game?
Yeah.
It
It's
feels
fucking
great.
good.
The driving's
Yeah.
not bad. The shooting feels good. It
Yes.
runs great.
Yeah. Absolutely. It only took them 3-4 years post launch, but sure enough, they figured it out.
3
and
or
it's
4 years that
fucking good
arguably
now.
the game should not have been out.
No,
Like-
oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But it's a good game. It's
Yeah.
very good, I would say. And to anybody that was like on the fence about it, or anybody that was like, no, I'm never gonna play this game based off of what happened with it at launch, like you owe it to yourself to go play it now.
Yeah.
It really is very, very good.
Yeah, I just installed it because I was still playing Baldur's Gate and like deep into Act 3, and there are so many map icons in the city.
Dude.
I was
Act
like,
3, yeah. Once you get to the city, I feel like once you get to the city, the game actually begins. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
so much going on. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. But
Mhm.
my brain melted. I was like, I have to play something else for a bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, glad I did. Probably keep playing it.
Dude, it's very, very good. I'm so happy that I waited until I did to play Cyberpunk. My
Oh my
opinion
God.
of it wasn't jaded whatsoever. And I got in there and I'm like, dude, this is fucking sweet.
Yeah.
This is great. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
like-
it is.
yeah.
The release was a fucking travesty.
And there are still issues with the game. You will, I'm sure, Paul, I'm sure you've seen a bug or two throughout, and you will throughout
of
your
course.
playthrough.
Yeah.
But like nothing that matters. You know,
Mm-hmm.
nothing that matters.
Nothing of the
Yeah.
caliber in that Xbox release version. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, yeah.
Anyway, what do you say, boys? Should we get out of here?
You know what? We can do that. I think we've pretty well covered what's coming up in 2024. If we miss something, it's because there's a lot of games. Leave us alone.
I will say that I don't think this year looks nearly as impressive as last year did.
Oh no.
Right? No, it's
Yeah.
there's some good stuff coming out, but last year was like month after month, week after week. It seemed like there was something new that you had to play.
Yeah.
Not so much in 2024.
Some more things will definitely show up on the calendar as time goes on, because we don't really know what's up with anything on the PlayStation side of things.
Yeah.
Don't really know what's up on the Nintendo side of things at all, outside of Princess Peach.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
likely the Super Switch sometime this year, maybe in the fall. So
Yeah.
probably a new Mario game. Mario Odyssey
Yeah.
2,
Tears of the Kingdom, obviously.
Tears, 60 frames per second,
Exactly.
full price.
Mm-hmm. Of course, full price.
Bastards.
Hey, they'll probably throw $10 plus $10 onto it.
Yeah, an extra 10.
Yeah.
Whatever. They're Nintendo. They do what they want. You can't stop them. But they should call it the Super Switch. I think that would be great.
That would rule. I would love that. Just change nothing else. Just add the word super in some weird font over top of the original name or logo or whatever.
The Super Nintendo Switch. I think it
Yeah.
writes itself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the SNS. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the color scheme. It exists already. Gray and purple for the Americas and Super Famicom colors everywhere else.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'm gonna buy it. I don't want to
Oh,
know what's
yeah.
going on in the chat.
Man, no, that's all good.
Anywho.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it for us.
But here we go, fellas. Another year. Another year of Press X
The Gamening?
podcast.
Is that what we decided on?
Yeah, the gaming, because nobody else came up with a better answer. So,
I mean,
you know.
Let's
Gamening.
let's maybe
but-
workshop that.
Yeah, the Gamening sucks. Let's be honest here. Like, let's go. We're gonna have to workshop it. We're gonna have to workshop.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that you don't have a better answer, and that I win. You.
I did just realize that we're in season 7 and we just came up with a rating scale that's all based on the number 7.
Sevens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so
So 7 a
this
winner.
should be
7 flush.
Yeah, the lucky number 7 season.
Lucky 7, baby.
Yeah, the lucky 7 season.
All right.
Are you gonna be lucky and get more than a 7? Probably not.
Yeah,
We'll see.
tough critics around here.
Yeah.
Like we're relatively harsh on games. But it's because
But I think we need to be. I think we
want
need
them
to be because
successful.
you know, because you look at a lot of the COG Connected reviews and a lot of our what's the word for it? Not friends, but
Colleagues?
a lot of our colleagues. I think that they're a lot more kind with their reviews than us 3 are.
Are you saying
So
that
they're-
only the 8 and the 5 on their keyboard works? It's 85 or an 88?
I'd say so. 85, 88. Sometimes they can get their 9s to work.
Mm.
But yeah, I would say so.
Well, this is where you come for real talk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks everybody for watching, hanging out in the chat. Sounds like it was a good time. If you're listening later, thanks for listening later. Thanks for that. We appreciate you. And we'll see you back here next time for another episode of Lucky Season 7 here on Press X to Podcast.
Lucky season 7. All right.
I
Have a
dig
good
it.
night, y'all.